Okay, now let's take a brief look at the last two pages, last two worksheets here on our spreadsheet, the without accelerator and accelerator calculations. Now that we have our income, our living expenses, and our debt worksheets filled out, let's go to the sheet at the bottom of the page and click on without accelerator. And so if we do that, we come up with some numbers, how long it will take us as an approximation to eliminate our debt. And if we just follow this down and we go to the bottom of the sheet, we find in this case it's going to take 186 months to get out of debt by just paying the minimum monthly payments and not incurring any additional debt, which is rare. Most people will continue to incur additional debt. And 186 months in this case. If we click on the next little tab, Accelerator Calculations, this is where we roll up. So we take, for example, the very first debt, and we apply the accelerator margin. We have $361.62 available to apply to this debt. We're going to eliminate it. It's only $935. We're going to eliminate it in 3 months. And then we're going to be able to take that plus what we were paying, $22.50 to debt number 2, so $361 plus $22.50, and we're going to be able to apply $384 to debt number 2 and eliminate that in 2 months. And we can see as we continue to follow on down, our accelerator margin gets larger and larger and larger. As we go on down, we end up here at when we deal with debt number 8, which is a large debt, $7,865. That what's going to happen there, we have now an accelerator margin of $1,191 per month available to deal with this debt. We're going to eliminate that in only 4.29 months. Now if we come down to our larger debts, which are our vehicles and automobiles, and we've taken the amount of money that we had from the top of $1,191, and we add that to the $365 minimum payment, we now have $1,555 to apply every month to this vehicle. We'll eliminate it in 6 months. We'd add that roll up of $1,556 to the $372 for the second vehicle. We're going to eliminate that in 7 months. Very rapid. You can see what's happening now. Now if we take those amounts of money, the roll up of $1,929, and added to our normal mortgage payment, $1,465, we got $3,395 to deal with our mortgage every month. You can see what's going to happen is we're going to eliminate that in only 44 months. So that's less than 4 years rather than 30 years that people typically pay on their mortgage. And the bottom line is that we're going to be totally out of debt in 100 months, or approximately 8 years. 100 months, 8 years. We're going to get out of debt 7 years earlier than we would have if we were just paying the monthly minimum payments with an accelerator margin of $324.12. Now remember, that's not quite 5% in this case. We haven't gone through how to get the 5%. This is what was just available in this particular instance. So you can see that by following the good plan, this family will get completely out of debt in 8 years. That's phenomenal for many people. Now that is not talking about anything supernatural happening. When God begins to kick in and do supernatural things, we found so many testimonies of people that share with us that they are out of debt much, much more rapidly than even the numbers on the good plan will show. And so many people will find that they're completely out of debt in 3 or 4 or 5 years, some people 1 or 2 years, when even the good plan calculations showed them that it would take them 7 or 8 or 9 years to get out of debt. So you can count on God doing supernatural things when you do natural things. So you can finish reading the good plan spreadsheet instructions, but now what we want to do is let's go back over to page 1 of the good plan instructions, and we're going to pick up where we left off in step number 5. And so it says, after you have filled out the spreadsheet, so hopefully you have all the spreadsheet information now filled out, let's start by taking a look at your current debt situation. So let's go back and open the debt secured, unsecured page. So we'll go back and open that page where you've listed all your creditors. So you have your credit cards, your relatives, all the various debts, house mortgage, if you have such, car payments, all those kinds of things. And you have those all listed. Now, if you have creditors whom you've been avoiding or whom you're not making regular or weekly or monthly payments to, remember that Psalm 37, verse 21 says, the wicked are the ones who borrow and do not pay back. Well, again, we don't want to be wicked, so what we want to do is pray to repent of our wickedness. And what we're going to do is make a plan to contact every one of those creditors to confess our sin before the Lord and ask forgiveness, and to ask those creditors to forgive us for having not made attempts to repay them. So if you have creditors that you have not stepped up to that debt, now would be the time to stop the video, pray together, and ask the Lord to forgive you for not stepping up to your debt, not making agreement with those creditors, and now would be a time to do that. So I want to encourage you to just stop at this point and pray that if you have creditors that you've not dealt with. Now, if that's not a problem, you can just go right ahead and push play for the next section.